to be a doctor, you need a degree. I know a simple soldier must be tall with a strong body. To become a scientist, you need maths for this. But what must I study, Daddy, to get into politics? Son, can you be in the PNM party and your heart in the UNC? Can you be Robinson Street party whip and fight him for our leadership? You must swear on Bible and take false oath.
A pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Use big words to get vote.
And how are we doing this afternoon?
You must lie.
I hope each and every one of you guys are doing very, very well.
The qualification of a
We are here for another class in session program after missing yesterday.
people when election done.
Yes.
Son, that's the
So go ahead right now and share the live.
politician.
In the meantime, I want to share with you some activities that are happening in and around your communities based on where you are right now. Sugar Palace Promotion presents Sugar Palace Soca Monarch. That would be at Dragon Bay, St. Marlin, and Georgia.
Daddy, could you
It's on Saturday, the 26th of July,
politician
starting from 8
must have a
in the PM, all right?
station.
So go and be a part of this one.
Should I go away to London or the US?
This Saturday,
For me to be
the St. Max Parliamentary Office,
handed.
they're having a breakfast, only $15.
Session study.
You get yourself an opportunity
Please,
to be part of the breakfast.
that's be
The after work lime is next Thursdays, week after Thursday.
John
I
Hum.
cannot say next Thursday.
Sudama study.
That's on the 31st of July,
Scratch cough.
starting from 4.
Full of wood.
No vibes there is always good, alright?
You must go to the school of selfishness.
That will be at the NNP headquarters in Tempe, in St. George's.
Be dishonest.
Go on out and be a part of this one, alright?
You must go to the school of scampishness. And like Judas, learn
For the first time, the Grenada rugby team, they'll be having a friendly
spark.
versus St. Vincent.
Kelvin Ram.
That will be done on Sion Hill playing field.
Call him a bloody.
Annisville in St. Vincent.
You must
The Vincentians are there.
and fool yourself.
Normally pips over to the program over here.
Son, that's the quality.
Our rugby players are coming over, alright?
You must hate roti and yet hug up
This Friday, St. David's Continuity Brand,
qualification.
they are having their barbecue sale.
Alive.
In Las Vegas, St. David. So go on out, support the thing, now, man. Green Screen Promotion presents 50 Shades Darker, the Day Cruise. This one is epic. I'm telling you, it's going to be a movie. That will be on Sunday, the 27th day of July, aboard the Kayak Princess. DJ Fishman, DJ Smiley, MC Big Joe International.
Petition is a
Boarding time is at 1,
That man-
sailing at 8 p.m.
special personality.
Regular tickets are $85,
He'll promise you
VIP $300.
Sunday
So get your tickets right now.
the elections, he knows nobody. He'll give his party members car, house, jobs, and big road. Although they have no papers, he'll put scrap.
So go ahead right now and share the live.
He's one
Tag somebody in the comment section.
grandson.
Let them know there's another class in session program
My son,
hosted by yours truly, Royalty James, alright?
son, you must
I
not
want to hear from your guys today.
escalating
It's going to get interactive today.
about race and vote.
Yes?
You must see two people on one hospital bed, then pass through the ward and just nod your head. You must talk the Queen's English in Parliament and curse obscene as you reach the pavement. You must teeth and jail a man if he touch a leaf. Oh son, that's the qualification of a politician. You must smile and drink whiskey with your enemy. Well son, that's the qualification of a politician.
So we are going to take this one down because we definitely want to jump into our conversation, our conversations today. So we're going to take this on down here. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start this evening by extending a heartfelt, and I don't know how many of you guys want to join me in doing this, but I want to say a hats off and a heartfelt thank you to many of the different caretakers and candidates, and not candidates, but parliamentary representatives that are presently taking care of their communities. Yes, our dear sister Emma, I really don't know how you do it. Yeah, I really don't know how you do it, but it starts with you. It really have started with you, and your energy, your vibes, your vibrance in getting your different caretakers on the go. We've seen so many persons posting. Yes, we have seen handing over just recently by our dear brother in the south, Brother Diali, has become part of the conversation. Brother Cox continue to keep that shuttle moving. Yes, well, you know, Sister Kate and Sister Modeste, they are non-stop. From the day after we would have lost the general election, their campaign would have rejuvenated, and they continued working. Brother Dabrio, who's now on the ground, Amanda Japal, if you follow her on our page, Amanda is out there and Amanda is getting it done. So ladies and gentlemen, we want to give kudos and go into the comment section right now, or hit your like buttons right now for our caretakers who are taking good care. Yes, and they are taking very good care of the different areas, the different constituencies that they are responsible for. Yes, so I want to send a strong, strong message out there to our supporters, our MPs and our caretakers. They are working, and we need to work along with them. We need to be, as old people say, we need to be tech and tech with them. Yes, because they are definitely being going out there. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to play a clip this evening in which someone is sharing a sentiment. Yeah, someone is sharing the sentiment as it relates to an accusation, a serious accusation. And let me say this to you, ladies and gentlemen. Just a few weeks ago, somebody brought it to my attention, where the CEO or the chairman of the Spice Mass Corporation was actually on the NDC's Heartbeat program. Yeah? The Spice Mass chairman was on the NDC Heartbeat program. Now, we know that it's not this is not a neutral program. This is not a program whereby we can say, oh, we don't know what side they're on or whatever it is, whatever. But I see that as very, very, very compromising. I refuse not to speak about it because I said to myself, you know what, I think here in Grenada, we have grown to accept anything now. Anything is a play. Yeah? And I left it alone. But I want to play a clip right now that is bothering me, because this is not the first year, because I heard it last year, and this is not the first year I'm hearing about it. And again, surrounding nearly the same people, the same kind of conversation. But I want you guys to hear it for yourself. Wherever
you may be hearing this from, I am here to expose some information that I just received from a very credible source. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a particular judge that lives in St. David that is actually the person behind the corruption of the judges. It has been brought to my attention that this person is calling judges and creating this clique to endorse artists that they want to push forward for the prices. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a corruption that has been taking place a long time now in the music, but every artist is afraid to talk because they think when they talk they're going to be victimized. Contrary to popular belief, I don't have any fear for man. but I like fairness and I like fair play. I'm calling on the Minister of Culture to tell your friend to stop what he's doing. Stop calling judges behind the scene after they're selected. Stop pressuring the chairman of Spice Mass in order to get his way. And this person, we have another person that works in the cultural foundation. You have to...
Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this outright. This is not the first time this conversation has come up. Last year, there were allegations of a particular individual basically sponsoring an entire artist, and the person plays an integral role within the Ministry of Culture. And this individual played a part in sponsoring a particular artist for Soca Monarch. Now let me say to you, this is very, very compromising. This is very compromising. Now, when I saw the CEO on the Heartbeat program, and it was so silent, that was so silent, ladies and gentlemen, that I sat back and I asked myself, but this is what Grenadians have come to? This is what we have come to accept? The fact that individuals can now mandate what happens in this place? Because when I saw it and it was brought to my attention, I said, well, let me call the CEO to see how best he can get onto my program. Or maybe let me see if he could journey to the Sotés and maybe have a dialogue with the brothers up there. But this is not a Bob report. Yes? Or the other one of the social media bloggers. This is the NDC Heartbeat program. And so, ladies and gentlemen, when I saw the CEO of Spice Mass actually on the program, it was concerning. Very concerning. And as I said, and I continue to say, ladies and gentlemen, and let me be vocal about this. The fact of the matter is, we are not saying those things are of today. We're not saying that things didn't used to happen. I am not going to be a hypocrite and make it seem like, oh, everything is now happening. No, ladies and gentlemen, they are not now happening. They are not. But when you as a politician or a political organization came across to the Grenadian people as to saying that there will be no more of this, that we are not going to accept those things anymore, and then you turn in the cheek now and you're saying, well, let NNP used to do it. Because that's the biggest defense now. Believe it or not, that is the biggest defense. NNP used to do it. Now, a young man came open and came clear. I want to play another clip. This clip right here.
Yes, my people. One thing I want all of you to know. There are some people in Grand Mall here feel like, wow, the road is for the children alone. You understand? This woman named Beverly in Grand Mall here, Coco. Every time I road to go, she 2 daughters on it. What happened to other people? Children are hungry too. What happened for other children? Want to help them more than thing. You understand? Now your children alone have to help you. Give people work done. We begging, give people work that you have.
Now, I played the clip, but my focus generally is on the comment section. And I want to zero in on that today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is sad. It is sad, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine this young man who voiced his opinion are not being able to get a work. You know, somebody's jumping in the comment section and speaking about it teaching him out. They jump in the comment section and they on the gentleman's mouth. But they are the same ones that is clapping a particular young lady in the South when she's hand in hand with a particular parliamentary representative. They're not castigating about the teaching she out. Instead, what they're seeing is the works in which the political pundit is trying to display. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you guys to understand, and I made that in a post this morning on Facebook, I believe one of the things that caused the new National Party to have lost the last general election is our supporters. The things we did, the things we said, the way we felt like if we were indispensable persons in offices who basically acted in that relatable manner that the gentleman is speaking about. And so I voiced my opinion. I was one of the persons during the reign of the NNP. I voiced my opinion about this. I said, listen to me. You guys are a representation of the representatives. And I remember always uttering that for persons who have been following me from way back. I always uttered the sentiment that we needed to be careful as it relates to representing our representatives. Because at the end of the day, what is going to happen when persons are going to the ballot box or the ballot papers is handed to them, they are not seeing you. They are not seeing the persons in the offices. They are not seeing the persons who are responsible for giving books and all these things on them. They are seeing the parliamentary representative. That is who they're seeing. And so when you give a bad representation to the representative, it reflects on election day. And I always uttered that sentiment. Always have uttered that sentiment and I bellowed this for years. I said to NNP supporters, calm down. Stop castigating people. But what I am seeing and hearing now, ladies and gentlemen, what I am hearing and seeing now from NDC supporters and persons who support this present government, it is amazing the way they castigate and bring down people who simply stand up for their rights. Persons who simply have issues with the government and echoes those sentiments, they are the worst. Persons say all kind of things. You can't say nothing about this present administration. They are allowing the actions of these persons and allowing them to do and say as they please. Supporters are not even stepping forward and say, no. I don't like that one. Or I don't think that should be so. They are allowing and accepting the ridicules and the behavioral pattern. But as I said, I have seen it happen before. I'm not asking them to stop. I am not asking them to stop. I am simply saying it happened with the new National Party. And today, those or some of those members are on the opposite side of the table. So I am not worrying with your actions. I am not worrying with your behavior. And let's be honest, there was some NNP that believed that NNP would have never come out of office. They spoke down to people when the opportunity was given for both green and yellow to get They acted in a particular way. And electorates gave them the response on the election day. They are accepting those behaviors. They're defending corruption. Imagine the clip that I played earlier on. That's brother, that's Papa Jerry. And under the comment section, you are a person saying, bring the evidence. Where is your evidence? Ladies and gentlemen, for those of us who have been around the politics so long, how many times have allegation and accusation gone around and became what they believed was concrete evidence? They stated that the CBI program was passport being sold to fraudsters. That passports are being sold to fraudsters and an MP this and with no form of evidence. They were going around and they were saying it was okay for them to say. But now, the minute time you speak corruption and accusations are being placed against them, they want the evidence. Are they ready to sue you? Well, you know me. I ain't afraid that. I ain't afraid that. One jump up, he say he go sue me. I put up 2 posts on Facebook as it relates to the findings of defamation and the way in which defamation and character assassination goes. And then after that, I saw nothing. So I ain't scared of them. All kind of allegations. Ministers were accused of having sexual intercourses with individuals for board. I ain't afraid to say it. Where were your evidence? Where were your evidence back then? Dr. Michel was accused of a briefcase until he had to come and say it's my damn money. They had no evidence. At one point, I see they brought persons to the Look Cinema in Grenville and said they have a tape. This is a National Democratic Congress that have always fueled the mind of Grenadians on the belief that they can conspire and bring any form of allegations against the past administration. Whether it stick or not, they don't need evidence. All they need is just to say it. All they have done is just said it. The National Democratic Congress, when they came into office, spoke about a pollster, a policeman, you know. And they spoke about things like a receipt. Huh? We await the cabinet conclusion to date. Grenadians, we are awaiting that piece of evidence to date. Sister Jenny come last week and she say something, and this week all you want evidence. We are waiting 2 years and more for a piece of evidence of a receipt that money was paid to the treasury. And you said money was paid to the treasury and a receipt. And let me repeat myself. The next one was paid to the South St. George constituency branch of the New National Party. And I find NDC playing the fool with that too. You know, they should sue him for defamation. They should sue him. Somebody's in the comment section, yes, accusation of witchcraft. Dr. Mitchell going in Haiti to work Obia to win election is what we haven't heard from this set of goons. And the minute time you stand up to them and you let them know, hey, I ain't taking shit from you. It's either they want to sue you or they want to tell you something. Let me tell you something, I'm done with the Facebook war. If you guys have realized, I don't go in comment section and talk with people. You want to tell me something? Meet me some way. Let me trash it out. Individual asked me today, he said, you believe NIC not doing nothing by? I said, no. I said, what have they done? I said, tell me. He asked me, you don't see what's going on in Granans? I said, no, I live in the south of the island. He said, tell me what is going on. You don't see what Andy doing. Mind you, that is an individual that lives on the western side of the island. Eh? I said, well, if you believe so, then you believe so. I said, but here is what. Give me 3 major projects that have happened from St. George's Northwest to St. Patrick's East. 3. Tell me, Mr. Man, ask me about my area. The individual from St. Max. I said, but tell me what have happened in St. Max. He said, they're waiting to open a bridge and name it after the parliamentary representative. And he went on to tell me, he said, ask me about St. Max and about Grandlands. He living in Grandlands. He made it as a humor. But ladies and gentlemen, I made the point to say to you that this is what they believe is their stronghold. And this they believe the south of the island is a stronghold. And this is what the persons are viewing, and they're of the belief, you know what, we're winning next election. Because the particular individual in the south continues his plot of deception. He continues his plot of deception. And you see, as I said, if the supporters simply accept this is a drag your foot government. This is a drag your foot government. In conversation, the person would have asked me, he said, what happened to the monies on the fort? Or why the project didn't start on the fort? I said to him there was a pandemic, but you guys have started the project. Were there issues in terms of the grants or the monies there? Or the allocation of funding and contractors? Did you find nothing on that? Tell me, yeah, well, it's taxpayers' money. I was like, okay. So it means that there was a government working for the people of Grenada. It means that when they stated that the projects were going to be done, it was already allocated. There is a process. It happens they lost the general election 2 years after a pandemic. And so, the grant, the negotiation, everything, consultation was there. It was there. So, you guys come in and talk about, oh, we have to continue the project and continue this project. My question is, did you have to do any form of allocation fundings? Or were there no consultation being done? So when you hear persons come and talk about, oh, zero application, my thing is that what did you do after the project? Let's be honest. Those projects that they have continued, how many of them have they done new negotiations for? How many of them have they had to do any form of allocated grant fundings for? It is monies that was there for the work to be done. And we all know that most of this, the last general election was in 2018. 2018, right? From 2018 to the end of 2019, just before Grenada would have gotten the year of pandemic in 2020, the NNP, who took a second term of office, getting things done, putting things on stream, everything is on the way, everything is happening, and then boom, a pandemic hits. By the time we started fading from the pandemic, it was the election cycle. An election come, they lost the general election. For those of us who remember, this is a similarity as to what would have happened after Ivan. Yes, Ivan passed 2004, NMP attempting to get things on board, a hurricane pass. In the attempt to get things on board, an election happened. Yeah? The people are dissatisfied. Oh, we don't want that kind of government. And they got rid of the NNP. On realizing all that was happening and the process of everything that was going on at the time, NNP was simply just smoothing things in. You give another people a try. What do they do with it? Pick ML. Pick ML. What had to happen after that? Persons were supposed to be elected again to fix the problem again. So, ladies and gentlemen, my question to you at the end of the day, if a political organization who within the last election cycle from 2018 to 2022 were faced with a pandemic, or who were faced with a pandemic, let us be honest, NNP had a meager from 2018 to early 2020, just about 2 years or thereabout. Yes, to have gotten re-elected and then started continued work. A pandemic come. A pandemic hit. Yes. But after that, a general election is called in 2022. And the amount of projects that those persons are mentioning that the NNP had in the pipeline. Imagine this. I want all you to visualize what I'm visualizing. Imagine the amount of work this person saying NNP had in the pipeline. Ladies and gentlemen, you had a government working for you. Even if they were not being applied at the time, it means that as government is expected to do, they were getting things done. Pen was put into paper. There were pen that was being stroking. Negotiations and grants and consultations and budgets. It means that there was a political organization working for you. Amidst all that, they lost the general election. The incoming government said to the Grenadian people, they met a pregnant treasury. So imagine this. Projects on stream, monies in the treasury. What could have been better than this? What better leadership, what better governance would you want? Your child, your parents passed away or they traveled. But when you get what they get or what they had, you realize mommy had that and that and that and that, daddy had that and that to do. And notwithstanding that, they had money for you to do it. So imagine this. Amidst all that, this is a government during a pandemic that ensured every public servant, including Imani workers, were paid and paid on time. Paid and paid on time. A little hurricane pass, you hear people complaining about they don't get money from government. When everything is propelling on the island. This country was at a lockdown. A prime minister, a leader said, I'm not leaving my people so. Went over to Trinidad and Tobago and he made negotiations for fundings to ensure that salaries were paid in Grenada. So when you hear they come and talk about, or you didn't start nothing, we are doing, government is continuum. And the mere fact that after 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 years, you can't get nothing struck from you or an initiative from you. It means that my government of the past was working for me. It means that things was being put in place. And that is governance. That is leadership. Hurry board never build a good desk. Always hear old people say that. You can't say to me, you have 5 constituencies on the western side. St. George's Northwest, you have St. George's, St. John's, you have St. Mark's, you have St. Patrick's East and St. Patrick's West. And you are saying to me that within that 5 constituency, think about it yourself. This is an administration that can put a finger on nothing constructive that have happened within 5 constituencies after 3 years of governance. Something had to wrong. Something have to be wrong somewhere. And for you to have said before that this is an administration that was doing nothing. You said NNP was doing nothing. You included 23 years in it. But you came after 23 years and you still can get nothing to be done. So who fully know? these fellas and them come and they want to come and talk about the road. For those of you guys who are on the Facebook, on the program today, and you guys remember Grenada's road? I'm not that old, but I am from Victoria. NNP fixed every single road in St. Mark's. By road, Cell Road, High Road, Low Road, Sea Road, River Road. We fix it. Come in now and post road and post house. Posting house as a prop. Huh? You traveling and talk about how much ties and how much people you meet and them crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be fooled by this papi show. Those are the things that they condemned. They ask if the single mother can eat road. They do a whole busto. 55% of what was shown was road. Ladies and gentlemen, if and only if the NNP of the past did do the social media prompt that you see they're doing now, I am certain that even at this stage, they might not have been an NDC administration. And I tell you, they're two-tongued. They're fake. But Lacret came recently, and he said all what was happening within the NDC. And all with corruption conversation. Oh, Brother Lacret, why you didn't say that when you was at NDC, when you was minister, when you did drawing the money? Why you didn't say that? Number 10 do the same thing. She say all what she want to say. And they embrace her. Woo! She come across, she's the best thing. Hypocrite. So Brother Lacret said, why he didn't say all what he said when he was at NDC. But number 10 do it, why she didn't say all what she said when she was at NNP. But all you embrace her. But all you cussing Brother Lacret. If God could have backed some of you, all you not eating all your mouth. If God could have backed some of you, some of you didn't have teeth in all your mouth. Because all you hypocrite bad. All you hypocrite bad. Because the utter nonsense that continues to happen in Grenada and is accepted is amazing. It is amazing. God that voted out the NDC next election. You know? God that voted out NDC next election. Believe you me when I tell you that. The miracle of God that ensured NDC don't win the next general election. All the things that you guys are doing, people are seeing right through you. Right through you. And maybe much may not be saying anything now, but a lot will be said soon. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, today we put out a little NDC achievement. I'll just give you the last 5. I like the last 5. They promise to pay everyone pension, instead they deliver the pension reform. Right? And I give you the last, not 5, just about 12 of them. They added only 525 persons to the new persons to the existing pension payroll of 2,200 persons that NNP was paying. They did nothing to erase the rising cost of living, and that's a fact. They only added 525 persons to the new pension payroll, while NNP was already paying that amount of persons. No new major projects, and that's a fact. Embracing and endorsing hate speeches of a particular podcaster. Deporting the Haitians after suggesting to the United Nations that we do more for them. Hypocrite. The promise to legalize marijuana are now announcing only for medical purposes. While promoting youth involvement with over 1,005 board application, party executives and families hold multiple board seats, squandered millions in the hurricane burial insurance payout. They enable massive corruption in the NLA. They promise to capture Sagaz of Netwell. Yeah, weed right now, they legalize, the C legalize that. The minister cursed and verbally abused police officers. A social media content creator, prime minister traveling all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, when we outline those things, there are no way. There are no way. I see the little project, now a sub-project, the water project or whatever it is in the south of the island. And he running with that. He run with that. You see, when you're not accustomed to victory, anything, you could be down 2, 3, 4, 1, and you score, you believe it's the best thing. You score a beautiful goal, but your team down. It is amazing. It continues to amaze me what it is. What it is, ladies and gentlemen, does the National Democratic Congress see as the achievements. What can they bring to the Grenadian people to say, we did this? The man and them come in and talk about, oh, we what they did? They said the free tuition and free feed in school, where we hear the backfire when it comes to that. We have heard the backfiring when it comes to that. And you know what is more amazing? There are some persons who are claiming no, they are no longer NNP supporters. They're NDC supporters. But ladies and gentlemen, check the track record. Check out the amount of things that the NNP would have done for multiple of them. All of them who you see jumping now on the bandwagon and they retain and they ask the question, the amount of things that the NNP did for them. But you see, they continue to create that volume of hatred. They continue to believe to themselves. And let me say to you, God bless that the NNP wins the next general election. I'm employing a bawling out, a screaming out. Yes, to the political leader. Be careful of some of these people and them. Because they go try the uttermost best to put their foot back in the sand. They are going to try the uttermost best, ladies and gentlemen, to put their foot back in the sand. They go want to play again. They are going to want to play again. They will want to be part of the conversation. And we would need to be careful of them. Because we have a set of persons who knows what is right. And instead of calling it out, look at, everybody's blaming the NNP, you know. Everybody's blaming. The NNP, NNP people do this. NNP. But at this stage, how much we have had? We had about 2 new parties or 3 new parties launched in Grenada. About 3 to 4 new parties launched in Grenada. But only the NNP are the ones making the clarion call on the behalf of the people of Grenada. And I want all you to watch that. So all the other parties that are forming out there, keep your eyes on them for election. Because all that is happening now, all that the NNP is pointing out, all what the NNP is being blamed for, they sit aside and they say nothing. They are sitting aside and say nothing. NNP is the problem. NNP is the ones talking. So NNP is the problem in the eyes of the people. And they're coming tomorrow, or they're coming later on, and they're telling you, vote for me. Vote for me. We are the difference. We are the democratically right party. But all that is happening now, that is unconstitutional. All that is happening now on the backs of the Grenadian people, the cost of living, and all the other shite that continues to happen in this country, you all are voiceless. And so it is easy for them to say, NNP. NNP. Because everybody are pointing their hands at the NNP. Because the NNP are the ones vocalizing. They are the ones stepping out into the light and not being fearful. And we're posting the issues as they arise. The corruption conversation continues to mount in different sectors in Grenada. The demoralizing and corruption within the RGPF continue to stop problems among the subordinates. But it's the NNP talking. The NNP continues to voice their opinion. They continue to voice and say the issues. And so when it is time to blame somebody, it is the NNP. If you check it out, and you check all of them out, all of them were part of an organization. All of them was part of the organization. They were vocalized in the past. Yeah? Some of them, they talk, they say things. They voiced their opinions before. But all of a sudden, they come mute. Yeah? 2 years ago, NNP is the best thing. They'll never leave NNP. How you going to leave NNP? And NNP did that work. And NNP did that. And you still believe NNP is. But today, the same team, same construct of leadership, same persons, and then NNP is the worst. And let me say to you, this is an NNP that ain't dying. This is an NNP that ain't dying. Because at the end of the day, you know what I like? What I'm seeing? Persons are continuing to lift their heads again. Those of all you in America and all you watching Facebook and want to say, oh, NDC winning election. Walk on the ground. Come on the ground. Buy a plane ticket. As a partner say recently, are you afraid? Show Trump go call you back in all your country. Get all your vote already. All you disturb the people of America, all you vote for Trump. All you want to come and disturb our state, all your place. Look among us, ladies and gentlemen. See what is happening. See what is happening. The kind of things these men and them doing. How is it putting monies in the pockets of people? Oh, they signed that negotiation and they signed that and that treaty. How is that putting monies in the pockets of our poor Grenadians? How is the single mother eating board and road MP? And your concern was about the people. Can they eat road? The question is asked now. The roads that you're building in the south and other areas, can they eat roads? That is the question. So I don't know if they could not have eaten road before, whether or not they could eat road now. You season the road now? The road pressure cook now. To stand among the spectators, they are usually the best players. To stand among the spectators, they are usually the best players. Because you know why? They stand outside and they can orchestrate every play. Every play. Go so. Move so. Fix that so. Pull that so. But remove the gears and hand it to them. Put them in the position. And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen for the past 3 years here in Grenada what this administration has produced as leadership, as governance, and as transparency. We had to ask these people 20 questions to get one answer. And sometimes we ask 45 and we ain't get none. Here we are 3 years after, asking for a cabinet conclusion. The Integrity Commission was sanctioned on June 1st by the Governor General of the state. And just about a few days ago, the state of Grenada is made aware of it. Look at those things. June 1st is the date of sanctioning. But 1 month and close to 2 weeks thereafter, our Grenadian people is made aware of it. Steady. And don't open all your eyes and see what is happening. I remember there was a recent board, I think is the PWU, or not PWU, but PSC, something about that, something of that sort, that involved Mr. Thompson. I'm afraid to call name. He's on a particular board, and when we got the information, when it was made public, we are realizing it is a board that was formed about a year or two and was made published years after. This is what we've gotten used to in Grenada. We've gotten used to the Prime Minister is in Guav doing a walkthrough. And we wake in the morning and he's taking picture in Afghanistan. That is what we have gotten used to. The Integrity Commission, as we know, to be a confidential institution. A parliamentary representative and a PRO of a particular party can stand and say, I get information from them. That is what we have grown used to. That is what we have gotten to accept in Grenada. As okay, as all right, no problem. Someone in charge of a particular election process, in charge of and working with, is seen in about 2 political rallies or meetings, not rallies, but meetings of the present administration. The electoral office. The electoral office that serves as a democratic process of being neutral. My dear sister stands among the women arm of the National Democratic Congress and stands proud with the replica color. And she's photographed, seen in another rally. This is what we have come to. Our minister responsible for finance and our minister responsible for housing come and make the nation know, hey, watch me. Build Back Better is a disaster in itself, financially and initiating. Prime Minister calls corruption a mistake, and it is not widespread. a mistake and it's not widespread. And we accept. It is okay. Somebody said in the comment, it's a new norm that we accept. Pleasant good morning to the commoners, the big dogs. Make some noise. Dunceness, as referring to a media host. And this is our new norm. We have accepted this. It is okay. No problem. We move on. Individuals, no part of government, no holds no ministerial post. A party member, candidate who ran for the last general election and got herself properly whooped by Sister Kate, is the biggest representation within the constituency. Doing all things government, not even employed with government. Well, what we know. To my understanding, she did on more board than a nail. All board. To my understanding, she did. All board. She did on like a nail or like paint. And she believe she's the heavy. How can I post? How can I think? And this, ladies and gentlemen, has become the new norm. We have been accepting those practices. And we laugh and we grin and we, as old people say, we pappy show ourselves. And we allow this National Democratic Congress to believe that they are indispensable. But let me say to you, words have a way of haunting people. And I would just make a slight change to the statement made by the Prime Minister. You see next election? By the stroke of a pencil. By the stroke of a pencil, your reign of illiteracy and corruption, your reign of action, by the stroke of a pencil, the Grenadian people will teach you how to be humble. Ask present and ask past how it is that the masses can humble you. You believe you're it. No one can ask you a question. Nobody should not ask you a question. Somebody saying in the comment section, who laugh last does laugh the best. That is very much so. If you're not tired of it, I am tired of it. If you are going to accept it, I don't intend to accept it. The silence of the media houses, the churches, the NGOs, I mean, my question is, where were they? Or where are they? Not where were they, where are they? I remember at one time, I think a priest got involved one time. I think teachers were negotiating or making some form of negotiations. And a priest came forward and he spoke about things. Spoke on things. I remember before, anytime it comes to something environmental, like the closure issue, Here comes Friends of the Earth. Before you don't know where Friends of the Earth coming out. Anything, garbage way, this way, river thing. The last time I saw somebody speaking about some river up in St. David's. Before, by the time you could talk about anything environmental, here comes Friends of the Earth. Where are Friends of the Earth now? Before anything concerning women, there was a women's organization that stepped forward, and they always speaking on things, and they can't think with women. Now the kind of things that you're hearing uttered about the political leader as a female. Where are the women's organization? Where are you? Where are you? Remember a few years back when persons were saying they don't like the way Dr. Mitchell speaks to media or the media houses. And then NDC took office, and the only thing I believe Brother Tilly didn't do was spell something behind a particular journalist she was employed with WeFM. And them time the media house bad. Media house, everything, Dr. Mitchell and whoever, everybody. Where are the media houses now? Before you see media houses, after government serves a particular amount of years in office, they go in around and ask people questions and about the environment and the economy, and particular media house do it. A minister call them dons. I am regurgitating your memory as to what is happening in Grenada, ladies and gentlemen. 3 years. 3 long years. Our Prime Minister took office. He spent 4 months or thereabout in the ministry that he took when taking office. Imagine that. Imagine that. You won the general election. You took a ministry. When you realize, as we don't say, water more than flour, you give it up. And it had nothing to do with anything else but not being able to hold the position. See, don't you know this speaking about financial literacy. What I can say to you, ladies and gentlemen, I am not scared to ask the tough questions. I am not scared to bring up the conversations. I am not scared. For the young stars in the telescope area, you got a sense of what our foreparents faced during the revolution. But your Prime Minister to date says, not the fault, no issue. Gravel and concrete is to be blamed. The new norm, the new acceptance, the new modus operandi, the new regular practice, the new accepted practice that has been allowed and accepted in our country. And so, the only voice in the wilderness is the new National Party. No teachers, no Friends of the Earth, no church conference and convent, how does call them? Nobody. But the echo that we are hearing and the sentiments that are being shared we are going to make the voice for the voiceless. They can't do that. As Sheldon said this year, they can't do that. Yeah? So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to dip your thoughts deeper. Yeah? Yeah? I want you to dig your thoughts deeper. And I want many of you guys to step forward. Feel free. There's nothing to be scared about. Step forward right now. And we have an election to win. It requires your help. It requires your work. It requires your dedication. Let us do it together. Let us do it together. Yes? So ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I want to thank many of you guys for being a part of this evening's program. To many of you guys who are on the WhatsApp group, you guys know as to the sentiment that I shared with you guys yesterday. I seek medical attention today. It's just a little bit better, coming on nicely. And it continues to pain me. Yeah, I really had to take 2 Panadol this evening before coming onto the program. But all in all, it's going to be all right. Yeah, all in all, it's going to be all right. I have some tests to run and some things to do. But nothing is wrong with my vocal cords. It's just my foot. Yeah? So ain't nothing wrong with my vocal cords. So I would continue to use it. Yeah? Because I told people if it's an OBI they send for me, they send it the wrong place. Because my voice still working. Yeah? But however, ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming on nicely, I'm healing nicely. It's not so, painful as before. But, on doctor's orders, I have to still take the little painkillers now and then. All right? So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, do have yourself a wonderful one. We continue to remind you guys of the carnival season. We want you guys to be safe, play it safe, yes, and be conscientious, ladies, with your daughters and son and so on. If you're sending them out and you're not going to be there to supervise them, I mean, outside here is really, really, really funny. Yeah, I was sharing this story just about Monday gone. I leave home 25 minutes, I walk up the road. That's one little jab thing they have up the road. And within that time, there was a little person had to part people. I wouldn't say it's a scuffle, but you could see things, persons was exchanging, and you didn't want it to escalate. So I just take my good self, and I left, right? But, persons got to be careful, and I really want to state that we ought to pay particular attention to what is happening in and around us. Yes? Do what has to be done to protect you and your family. All right? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, do have yourself a wonderful evening. Catch you back here again next Monday, where we continue our political conversations. Do have yourself a blessed one.
You want to know it all, Lekro? Anytime you win, you win. Anytime you lose, you win still. Rant and rave.
You rant and rave.
Pretty boy, you misbehave.
Misbehave.
When they say you win, you start with your mudslinging. You want to win when you want. You're a rock, I so tyrant. Anytime you lose, you say in fake news. You try to file an injunction against one innocent man. There's no satisfaction. Are you but number one? You start pointing finger at Chan and Chichester. But fella, remember the goose and the gander. Your son bust flat in preliminaries and still end up in the semis. You never come out and say why the hell all you put him there. But you jump and ride along Mr. Intelligent. The king is innocent. It's not he who give himself the score. It's the same folks that wrong you 10 times before. You behave like a watch on the pavement, Mr. Intelligent. The king is innocent. The bloody money don't spend. The king is innocent. Save the embarrassment. The king is innocent. Envious, malicious and real jealous. When the next man come first, you became cantankerous. Your ego and soul and head can bring the results to bed. You ain't get your way, so it's rated. You want to sign a petition to take the crown from the man, but no Caisonian didn't jump on your bandwagon. You even go as far to contact your lawyer. But remember, teacher, there's something called karma. 2K16, Baraka boss we skin the crowd boo. When they say you win, you never take the high ground and give the youngster he crown. But you produce video to make the king a papi show. Save the embarrassment. The king is innocent. It's not he who give himself the score. It's the same folks that wrong you 10 times before. You behave like a watch on the pavement, Mr. Intelligent. The king is innocent. The bloody money don't spend. The king is innocent. Accept the flipping judgment. The king is innocent. Petulant and mischievous. You use the media to create a huge ruckus. You cannot accept at all. Judges have the final call. When you win crown, you running them down. You holding personal grudges for officials and judges. After the match grass show, you cross up there so and so. You confess at the home and get on the phone. Like Kai, so you own crown is for you alone. You hug the man, deny to win the crown, but I know you wanted to knock him down. Up to this very day, you still have the worst thing to say. You used to choose them just before. Now you can't do it no more. So secretary permanent. The king is innocent. It's not he who give himself the score. It's the same folks that wrong you 10 times before. What is causing your depravement, Mr. Intelligent? The king is innocent. The bloody money don't spend. The king is innocent. Accept the flipping judgment. The king is innocent.